for the day, I'd like to introduce a dear friend who is working in a very interesting field. You will connect a lot with him today, so pay attention. Um, let's welcome Mr. Raf Dionisio from Mad Travel.
Thank you. Hey, Alex. Thank you. Okay. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I want to just say hello to the students from JIB who I remember. Hello, guys. Nice to see you again. Pwede na kayong matulog kasi I'm saying the same thing, no? How are we doing on the tech, guys? Sige. So, for this afternoon, I have some stories for you about what you can do in communities, right? So our company's name is Make a Difference Travel. We focus exclusively on inbound, and most of our programs are in Luzon, although we have some in Visayas, and I'm hoping to do things in Mindanao in collaboration with perhaps some of you, no? And definitely with Egypt Foundation. No? So, our company uses ecotourism to heal the land. So that's where we get our funding. And then we use the tourism also to help the communities get better at their products. So dun silang magpa-practice sa bisita. But of course, you cannot, you make sure that if it's food, you test it first before you feeding it to guests. No? So maybe the right way to start the story of sustainability is through this image. So merong dumagat elder, he's talking to a large company, and almost 40% of the land in the Philippines is owned by indigenous people, no? And so in the picture, sabi ng elder, "Sir, gusto namin ng development. So okay trabaho. Pero sana alagaan ang lupa, alagaan ang tubig, no?" And this is what the Sustainable Development Goals focuses on, no? And sustainability today is so important because our climate is breaking, no? So, sino dito yung naka-experience na ng baha? Can you raise your hand? Sino dito naka-experience na ng baha? Sa likod, medyo madami, no? And the floods keep happening because the storms keep coming. No? So, last November, then this one was last July, so tatlo. And then we had last September, so that's last month, apat. And then we had October. Actually, it's supposed to be 4 also, but it didn't go out in the same week, no? So, very regular siya. And in tourism, you have to be ready for all the changes, no? In fact, I was telling Cebu Pac earlier, I'm so impressed that they're able to navigate all the storms because it's just harder today to travel because of all the weather disturbances, no? And the weather disturbances are caused by an element that you studied in grade school. It's called carbon. It's increasing in our atmosphere due to these things: our transport, our energy, our food, the lack of nature, our buildings. No? And we need to reduce that carbon, right? By the way, this image is from Stanford University. So this is what they use for mapping out carbon problems. No? So our country is plagued by all these late harvests. Our waters are getting hotter. So because it's getting hotter, you have less fish. And per hectare of coral reef, you have 1,000 kilos of seafood per year. Pero kung masyadong mainit, the fish will not produce, no? FYI, tilapia stops breeding at 34 degrees Celsius. No? And other fish also have a very specific temperature limit. So the hotter the water gets, the less likely you have cheap seafood. And then in Luzon, 60 degrees heat index, right? And so our country has lost most of its forest, right? And we want to find a way to use tourism to heal, to be part of that solution, right? And so we know that trees can absorb as much as 2,000 liters of water. So yan, divided siya into the leaves, trunk, and roots, right? And so all this information and knowledge we apply in a community-based tourism program called Tribes and Treks. Dito siya nagsisimula, San Felipe, Zambales. The ground is gray-white because that's volcanic ash. This is the land of Mount Pinatubo, right? And so our goal here is to restore 4,000 hectares. Yan yung lupaing ninuno nila. And tour nga. So Tribes and Treks, what do you do? Trek. It's 10 kilometers, flat land, but lahar. No? Pag pagod ka na, you can take a carabao, right? And then when you get to the community, there's interesting immersion activities. So archery, they teach you about different herbal medicines. So headache, stomach ache, snake poison, they have all the medicines. Heartache lang yung wala, unfortunately. And then we work with the community. Natawa sila, so my heartache dyan sa table na yan. So, yung community, we train them so that yung food nila is restaurant level. Kasi dapat masarap yung kain after a long walk, no? And then we dance. So the elders teach us dancing, now the kids as well. And then plant, no? Because that's why we're doing this. We want to plant, no? Now, after our first successful tour, si Chieftain, babayaran ko na lang 3,000 pesos. So, in 2016, malaking pera yung 3,000 kasi in their area, it takes you 2 months to get 3,000 pesos. But they can earn it in 1 day. That's the power of tourism. Yung biglang, wow, big money. Diba? That's probably why you're in tourism in the first place. Taas kamay, if you join tourism because it's good income, raise your hand. Yan, there you are. Hello, friends. No? No, that's true. It is. Right? Pero si Chieftain, hindi nakapagtapos ng grade 5, cannot write, cannot read, said, "Sir, wag mo na lang ang bayaran." So ako, I'm like, "Ha? Wag mong pababayad? Bakit?" Sa bahay namin, pinalak kami na kapag may tutulungan kang community na mahirap, bigyan mo ng pera. Pero mas maganda sa pagbigay ng pera, bigyan mo ng trabaho. Tama? Yun yan, di ba? That's what they teach us in the Philippines. Chieftain was saying no to hard-earned money. So I had to ask him, "Chieftain, bakit ayaw mo ng pera?" Ang sagot niya ganito, sabi niya, "Sir, pag binayaran mo ako ngayon, baka igastos namin sa load, sa 3-in-1 na kape, o sa sigarilyo. Hindi naman yan papakinabangan ng community namin ng matagal. So kung seryoso ka na tutulong sa amin, tignan mo yung lupaing ninuno namin. Napakalaki, pero walang laman. Kung babalik ka, magdala ka ng buto at binhi, kasi yon itatanim namin, at kahit nakawin, yung magnanakaw, magtatanim, at makikinabang ang kabataan sa aming barangay." So ako parang, wow, si Chieftain, hindi nakapag-aral, pero siya ang nagtuturo sa akin. And perhaps that is one of the big insights that I want you to go home with today. That when you go to a community, yes, maybe you studied more than them, pero meron din silang ituturo sa inyo, sa atin. And together, we move forward. No? And so what we did is we started to gather seeds as Chieftain requested. So one of our creative strategies was to host a cocktail making class, pero local fruits lahat. So siyempre sinabay namin sa Kadayawan season. So we have marang, diba? You have durian. You make interesting cocktails. So nagpainom ka, nagbayad yung tao, you get all the seeds, tapos may extra money ka pa for tree planting. No? So that worked. And can I ask you to play the next video? Sorry, tech booth. Tech booth. Sorry, can you play the first video? So this is our before and after. No? Audio, please. So we started planting in 2017. By 2021, dumami na yung puno, right? And then 2024, yan, mas madami na talaga, no? And then, yung pera na tinanggit ni Chieftain, ginamit namin pambiyahe sa Baguio City. We talked to the Good Shepherd sisters, the nuns, and they gave us all their ube seeds, which we planted, that's an ube plant, and then we trained them how to make ube chips. So we went online, checked what is selling in the US, ube chips, we can do ube chips here. And then, planting, very important, no? So you can see a lot of the guests were the ones planting here. And then as trees started to grow, they would bring flowers. They would lower the temperature by 13 degrees Celsius. It's like your air conditioning. No? And then we started to get a lot of bees as well. No? And then the bees started to produce more honey that they'd sell to the guests. And now we're also repacking and selling in the city. So inalagaan mo na yung kalikasan, gumanda pa yung ekonomiya mo. No? Next, we started doing agroforestry, right? And then here we got them to plant papaya, which they sell to local hotels, no? And then bamboo, because we know DA and DNR like bamboo, planted that. And then today it's being harvested for bamboo paroles. So biodegradable, fully compostable paroles, diba? Laking pera nila dyan every Christmas, no? And then my favorite, cashew, because cashew, we import from Vietnam, Cambodia, India, China. We don't produce enough, no? but they're growing that cashew today, no? And we were able to find a DTI processor where they could sell the cashew to yung sobra nila, no? So yan, so si community, malaki yung kita niya, and today the community has over 50,000 cashew trees. It's female-led, no? Lupa nila, puno nila, pero out of stock pa rin ng kasoy kasi ang lakas ng benta, diba? So yun yung maganda kasi we don't want them to turn into a community na tourism lang yung gusto nila. We've seen what happens when you have an island that have a big island, like Boracay, that's all tourism only. It's hard to balance, diba? Kaya siya sinara for a while eh. So with these communities who know less, who have studied less, we want to make sure that we build it properly para yung agroforestry, yung agriculture, yung tourism, sabay-sabay, right? So, we also started promoting a lot of their food because in tourism, you're not just about the tour itself, you're also about the cuisine, right? And so we made this program, Flavors from the Forest, where kung ayaw mo mag-travel, kasi sa totoo lang, only 1 in 10 of the people we talk to want to go to a community. The other 9 would rather stay in the city. So we bring them the food of the community, tapos taste testing, ang saya. Tapos habang kumakain, dun mo kukwentuhan yung tao. Diba? I'm sure you want to try all of this. And I actually challenge you, when you go home, please boil some bamboo leaves. Masarap ang bamboo tea. It's good for growing your hair or for your dad's or lolo's hair. Oh. And then we also have interesting concepts like this. It's the disappearing dinner or last lunch. So it's about the food you lose to climate change. Because of extended El Nino, food gets more expensive or disappears. Because of extended floods, food gets more expensive or disappears. Isn't this part of our responsibility in tourism? Kasi pag walang farmer, paano tayo mag-farm tourism? How do we do countryside tourism, no? So it's our responsibility as well, right? And we try to do this across Luzon. Most of our energy is focused around Metro Manila kasi yung mga nag-aaral sa Metro Manila, yan yung most likely to build destructive businesses. Because in Manila, the only example of business is destroy environment to make money. We want them to graduate thinking, oh, I can heal the environment and make money at the same time. That's important. And the only way to convince them is to show them proof that it can be done. No? So, perhaps in closing, I want to share with you this documentary film. Okay ba yung audio natin? No? It's about the community that we are working with. No?
Well, I remember the day. And in fact, that day, what we experienced, 54 degrees Celsius, heat index. Wow! To actually experience that, mind-blowing. We're experiencing now heat index of 14, 43, which if you notice, beginning to normalize.
Thank you.
Madalang po yung kahoy, kaya mainit po talaga.
That's why I asked to be last. So I had more time to think.
Hindi ka po makalakad dyan sa lahat.
I texted Manalag kanina, you better be here. Mag-watch Raf. Kaya maganda yung...
Isa sa pinakamalagyan na kinakaharap ng ilang bansa, kundi ng buong mundo, ang climate change.
If you want to do a film screening here, baka we can do one in partnership with one of the schools. Mag-fundraising sila, and then all the money goes to your tree planting in Davao. I just want kids to see it, watch it, and that when they come back. Our first screenings in UPLB in November.
Typhoons that have just taken everything away, fires that have taken
like
away
what you did.
land,
Oh my gosh.
and in that devastation, I'm telling you that there is hope.
You should.
It's something deeper. And I think that's what we really need. And we're talking about behavioral change. It's about falling in love with nature, falling in love with the people. And because if you love something, you definitely protect it. I think that's the bottom line there.
Honestly, the beauty of our country and the beauty of the people of our country gives me hope. Sobrang nabubuhayan ako. Nabubuhayan ako, bumabalik lahat ng pag-asa na merong purpose tong ginagawa natin.
This whole project is about empowering them. I'm showing them another way to make money. Another
Interesting. There's one Aita guy who married the Zamboanga lady.
Means everything.
That's why my ano siya
We
doon.
can't protect it. I can't protect it. Only they can. Ayan. Thank you, So guys, I guess just want to say, if you're interested to work with us, please do. And if you want to do good work in Davao, there are people in the room who you can do good work with, i.e. right over here and over there, no? And in your own hometowns, right? Hindi naman mahirap mag-save ng seeds. Hindi mahirap magpulot ng basura, hindi mahirap magtanim. Kayang-kaya natin lahat. So salamat and God bless you. Thank you. Uy.
Ang ganda, no?
Thank you.
Dali,
Thanks,
tanim na
ma'am.
tayo lahat. So
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you again for this afternoon. Thank you, Raf.